Because, nothing is more tonally jarring than making Condiment King jokes to the most depressing video game ever known being adapted to an HBO series, Last of
Hmm.
Us. We're great at transitions over here. So this is an interesting interview that Neil Druckman, the internet's favorite person, was talking about the Last of Us series. And he made some very interesting remarks in that sometimes in the show, they'll be lifting dialogue verbatim from the first game, whereas in other episodes, they will be drastically different and deviate greatly from the video games. To which I'm going, okay, that's either really, really good or really, really bad. Um, it would be great if you're basically fleshing out the events of the first game and then the events of the second game don't happen, and that's what you mean by deviate greatly, because let's just say the second one isn't without controversy and is very polarizing. This is the first red flag to me with this Last of Us project. Like, I've been so excited, and I'm especially excited with the casting of Pedro Pascal as Joel. It wasn't who I was expecting, but it's fantastic. I really want this series to be great, and I think it could be something special. I think The Last of Us, as a source of content, is a great place to pull from. I do get some red flags here going, we're going to deviate greatly from the game. That could either be really, really good in terms of they're doing something fresh, but it could also be we will entirely miss the point of the original and just we want a post-apocalyptic show, but we want it with some brand recognition.
Yeah, here's the thing. I kind of already assumed that they were going to deviate, just because of the game to show transfer story wise is going to be a little weird, anyway. Um, I don't know, man. Like, I guess it's not that surprising to me. I agree with your points though. Like, this could either be really good or really bad. But then again, that's what we thought about this show from the beginning. Like, it's either going to be really good or not good at all. Like that, I don't think there's any in between here.
Yeah. And when they say they're going to lift lines directly from the games, I don't want it to be like, stop what we're doing, look directly at the camera. Do you remember this famous line of dialogue? Or like blatantly recreating scenes. Like, yes, I think it'd be really, really cool to see the scene with Ellie petting the giraffes or something like that. But I'm
That's
like,
exactly what I was thinking.
I don't need that to be directly translated. This time around, since you're HBO and you have the budget, let's have them ride giraffes into battle against the clickers.
Stop!
No, let's
Stop!
not do. Just see Joel just screw stealth. I'm riding in on a giraffe.
I mean, but to be fair, that's just a reflective of anybody that actually played Last of Us. It was like, I'm gonna try stealth for the first three
Oh,
times, and then after I die, I'm going in guns blazing.
yeah, that was actually kind of the narrative. I wasn't a huge fan of The Last of Us 2, but the single biggest thing that made me just go, yeah, I'm not really digging this game was how much stealth there was. At least with like Joel, if you didn't want to do stealth, you could still cover shoot, and the shooting mechanics are even worse than they were in Uncharted. But like Ellie, you have to rely so much on stealth, and I get it for narrative purposes, but for some of us, me, I suck at stealth so much, but also I was never really comfortable with killing dogs, and that's kind of something you need to do repeatedly. They're like, oh no, if you're good at stealth, you don't have to kill the dogs. Sorry, Lassie, I suck, so you gotta go first so you can't see me type of thing. So I'm just like, this is really vibing with me.
Yeah.
But I want this to be good because I want video games to turn around in people's perception just in general, because I think people that don't play video games still kind of assume that it's kids stuff, whereas you've got stuff like The Last of Us or Uncharted 4 or Horizon Zero Dawn or God of War, which are really masterful narratives on scale with blockbuster movies, and sometimes even better, but it's still that perception thing. And so I'm really hoping that this isn't just a, well, The Last of Us is popular, so let's just do a Walking Dead with The Last of Us skin on it type of thing. Um,
That's yeah. That's what I think I'm the most worried about, and because I don't know, sometimes I think I'm in the minority, but Last of Us should have ended like season 4. They
Walking Dead?
drag. Yeah, sorry, Walking Dead. Walking Dead should have ended
Oh yeah.
season 4. It
Oh
was
yeah.
it was done. Like, real quick, little side tangent. Do you ever notice how they moved the show north? Like how the show starts in Georgia, and then all of a sudden we come back in the next season, and they're like, because of the winter, we moved up north. Blah 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 blah. It's so scientifically they can extend the show because given a certain amount of time outside of the pandemic, flesh would have rotted to a
Pandemic is
certain.
not the right word.
I mean, no, but the zombies would have deteriorated outside of a certain point in Georgia because of the humidity. So the show would have ended that season, technically speaking, scientifically. So they moved it north so the zombies would still be around.
How dare you have your logic in here?
I know, right? But like, it's just stupid. Okay. Let
Okay.
this be known. I gotta say it now. I don't like The Walking Dead, and
Oh
I
yeah.
don't. I
There's a
really,
lot of people that don't like it.
really,
I don't like
really,
it.
really, 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 really hope that they don't do what you're saying, which
Because
is The Last of Us. It's Walking Dead with The Last of Us skin.
The Last of Us, I didn't play for a while just because I assumed it was just your average zombie thing, and then I think it was Michael that
Same.
showed me the first 10 minutes on
Oh,
YouTube, and you're just like, this is not what you're expecting, because you see a little girl on the cover of this game with this bearded guy, so you're just like, oh, they're gonna go on this adventure together. Oh, it's not that little girl because she dead. But then you get all the feels of that. So
yeah.
I want this to be good, but this does raise some red flags to me. But it could also be good because there's such controversy surrounding Last of Us 2. I don't think they would change any of the events of Last of Us 2, though, unfortunately. I think they would just tell. I've often said that the events of Last of Us 2 aren't what hurt the game. It was the order in which they were presented. Spoiler alert for those that haven't played it, Joel dies pretty quickly into the game. And you play as... They deceptively marketed it, of like certain characters show up in the trailer, but then when you get to that point in the game, it's somebody completely different. So they definitely lied to people in the trailers. But I don't think that was the issue. It was so much of, had you... so the whole second half of the game is you're playing as the person that killed Joel. Had you started the game with that character, and then you kill Joel... Then you're kind of left going, am I the bad guy this whole time? Because you've already spent half this game playing as this person, getting their perspective, as opposed to more or less coming back from the beginning with this preconceived notion of, I already hate you because I know what you're going to do, as opposed to, this is this character. Oh, I just did this bad thing that shakes me to my core. So I think it was just kind of out of order. That was my issues with Last of Us 2. And maybe they'll undo that. I'm not sure. We're still kind of a long way off on this, but hopefully they start filming soon on this. But yeah, this is the first major red flag to me.
You want to know another red flag that I'm seeing?